Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. I'm excited, really excited to have my colleague, my big cheerleader up there at Leader One, the one and only Alice Lund is on the show with me today. We're going to talk about what the heck is a HECM. We're going to talk about reverse mortgages, and we have a webinar coming up that we want to encourage you to attend. It's next Monday, which is the 30th. I will put the link for you to register below, but we really don't know a lot about them. So I really want people to learn more, get rid of those preconceived notions, and have Alice do her thing. Welcome, Alice. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Hello, Ted. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like a little celebrity here. We love you so much.
All right. So before we take a deep dive into HECMs or reverse mortgages, tell them a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my name is Alice Lund. I've been at Leader One for 5 years, but I've been in mortgages for over 20 years now.
You're a baby.
Yep. Yes. And so, yeah, it's been a great journey. I've been on the roller team, which you recently joined the entire time. And it's just been, I'm a jack of all trades. I love education. I do a lot of classes, and like you, I love to bring, information and education to our realtor partners and the public. There's a lot of things that's confusing. There's so many programs out there and so many things that we can take advantage of, but how in the world are you ever supposed to understand what to do?
You're not. That's why you have an us.
That's right.
Partners and consumers. That's why you work with a professional who's got experience at it. And Alice definitely has that. And I think one of the things that fascinates me about the reverse mortgage and HECMs, and we'll talk about how all that's been translated, is that there's so much misinformation out there, and not the good kind. And so I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, whatever happened in the news, they have a little bit of fear and trepidation. They don't understand how they can work. They don't understand. We have a flyer out there that I always get comments on when I post it. They don't understand how you can have a new purchase with a reverse mortgage. And we don't want to give all the secrets away here, but I do want you to kind of go through what a reverse mortgage is, why we're calling it a HECM now, perhaps, and maybe some of the 101 details, because I feel like a lot of people just don't know.
Yes. And so what I would say, as a shameless plug, a true plug for our webinar, is that this is the class above any other class that I've ever taught that everyone leaves so excited. People come in, they never come in more skeptical, and they never come out more inspired than when they do this home equity conversion mortgage or a reverse mortgage class. And the reason for that is that I do believe that every single person who ever sits in or listens to the information that we give knows someone that they're leaving the room ready to contact because we can help them.
I love that. It's true, because they've probably heard about it and had it in the back of their mind, but because they don't understand it, they don't talk about it.
That's right. And so, and some of the bad reputation that reverse mortgages have, and I guess I should start by saying home equity conversion mortgages, and we'll call them HECMs.
It's so much prettier.
That is the modern day term for a reverse mortgage, and specifically an FHA insured reverse mortgage. And those are the kinds that we do. So there's some real benefits to those. There's been a lot of reform for that product over, probably 5 to 7 years ago. And so some of the bad reputation that reverse mortgages have was merited. They are less regulated, which means it is really important, and they're still less regulated. It's really important that you work with a lender who understands that we're providing these loans to our aunts, our uncles, our parents. This is the part of the population we want to do right by. We want to be a price leader. We want to take care of, and the last thing that we would ever want is for those people to be taken advantage of. And so, but then there's also just some, like, if you still have to pay your taxes and insurance, even if you don't have a mortgage payment, you have to keep up on your taxes and insurance for a property. And so some of these properties were maybe going into foreclosure, or people think that, the bank owns the home and you can't, you don't have the equity. All of that they are misconceptions. And so I think the exciting thing is to understand the mechanics of a reverse mortgage and the types available, so that you can go to that person who you could maybe potentially transform their retirement and help them understand what to do.
So I love all that, and we're going to take deeper dives into this on the webinar on the 30th. So don't forget to look at that link and register. For my realtor friends out there, why is this important for them to be knowledgeable? Because in their minds, it's just not in their wheelhouse of anything that they talk about, especially when it comes to their clients and what they do on a daily basis.
Yeah, so I think that probably the most common, idea when someone thinks of a reverse mortgage is, oh, they can't afford their retirement, so they're going to annuitize the equity in their home, and they're going to get this monthly payment every month in order to just make their budget work. Well, there are so many more uses for a reverse mortgage. David Hopper, our chairman, he's a believer. He's going to have a reverse mortgage, and I hope to have one too. It's part of my retirement plan.
Amen.
So they are for a lot of different purposes. The thing that is exciting for our realtor partners is, first of all, you have a tool in your toolbox, and even if it is a refinance, if it is a monthly payment type of loan, you want to be able to be the one-stop shop, the one-stop resource for anything, any financial, any real estate related question that your clients might have. And so to know this will help you help someone at some point. And the other exciting thing is that you can use a reverse mortgage to buy a house.
This is the part that's wild, right? So when I saw that, again, not being informed either, even as a LO, I was like, what? How is that possible? That's what intrigued me the most, because I knew that especially in this particular market, our realtors are always looking for other avenues to expand their reach and their growth. So without giving away the farm, how does that actually work?
So let's say, for instance, you have, let's say it's my mom. And this is kind of a real life example here, but let's say she has a house and it's free and clear. It's worth $400,000, and but it's getting older. It was built in the 80s. It needs to maybe be recited. It's outdated. It's going to need new windows, things like that. And it's 2-story. It doesn't meet her needs, but she doesn't want to have a mortgage payment. And she's she doesn't have a huge amount of cash out of pocket to go put money down on a house, but she's fine on her monthly budget. A reverse mortgage can allow someone who is 62 and older, so that's a basic criteria, to use the equity or to sell their home and to right size themselves into a home that's maybe more expensive, but to bridge that gap between the proceeds they'll have from the sale of their home and the new home they're going to be purchasing. They can use a reverse mortgage or a HECM rather than having that forward mortgage and having a mortgage payment every month.
That's so cool. I mean, that in and of itself, I mean, it's just such a cool part of it. It's amazing to me.
It's amazing. I mean, there are uses for this loan that I think will probably blow people's minds. I mean, for instance, there's a way to, you can buy a second home. You can have that second home. You can rent it out. There's the exciting thing to me is that this, reverse mortgage product can be used to actually help build wealth, to build equity, to be a smart financial decision, and a way to annuitize, everything that you've paid into over the years and to take advantage of all of the equity that you've earned. We're not in the age of the pension anymore. There's more equity in homes, than ever before, 17 or 19 trillion or something like that. And I think that we've gotten away from that idea that you have to pay off your house. You can't have any liens there. You can't do anything with it. And it's for the kids or whatever. Like, I think that we want our retirement to be everything that it can be. It can be transformative. So
it's just transformative. What a great word. I think that the thing that will surprise most people as they're watching is that they just didn't know. They really thought it was more of a finance move. Realtors, I don't think in general could wrap their head around why it was important. I love the first part you talked about, being a resource overall for them. That's such a beautiful thing. If you're selling a kid's house and you have that conversation, I mean, you've got a client about their parents or grandparents, you've got a client for life. I think when you do those kinds of things.
Ted, I think back to a presentation that we did maybe a year ago at a real estate office, and one of the agents it was kind of shaking their head through the whole thing. And at one point I said, well, you seem upset. What's up? And they said, I wish I would have known about this. I wish I would have known, because I had clients who they just couldn't afford to carry the maintenance costs of their large yard. They lived in this beautiful home that they lived in for like 50 years, but it was on 4 acres, and the husband had a medical incident, so he couldn't take care of the property himself. But they could have, in this instance, opened a credit line, not taken out any money at that point, but then drawn from the credit line when they needed to cover some maintenance costs, and stayed on their property without any additional monthly expenses.
Amazing. I mean, I can't wait for everybody to hear all the
There's so much.
All right. So Alice, tell them again what HECM stands for.
So HECM is a home equity conversion mortgage. So that can be, you can use it as a refinance. You can, it is a lien on a property, just like a forward mortgage. Interest accrues on that, just like it does on a forward mortgage. You have the ability to make a payment if you want to, but you don't have to. You do have to be 62 or older. The loan to value that you can qualify for, and we'll get into that on the webinar, just is based on age and the use of the loan. But they're fun loans to do, because who doesn't like to get a mortgage and not have a payment? But also I just feel like every client we've helped, it's been an incredible solution. It's not for everybody, but I promise you, it's for someone you know.
Absolutely. It's for someone you know. Alice, I'm super excited. So our webinar is September 30th. I'll put the link in the bottom there. We can do reverse. Can we do them in all the states we're licensed? 47?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we're licensed in 47 states. So if you have realtor friends, you have anybody in another state, because obviously I'm in Florida, we have access to that in those 47 states. I'm super excited. I'm so thankful to talk to somebody who's excited about reverse, because it really does have this, I don't understand it, so I don't want to touch it mentality.
And I will say, I think some of that comes from that the reverse mortgages of the past didn't have the counseling element that the reverses that we do have. So we have our clients go through an independent third-party counselor. They have the next of kin on the call. So I think what was happening is people didn't know there was a reverse mortgage on the property. So it was a surprise, and we avoid that completely. So
exciting. All right. So I'm starting to buffer, as I told you I would. So we will see you on September 30th. Don't miss out. If you want more information beforehand, you know how to reach me. Alice, what a blessing to have you as a colleague and partner and mentor. I'm really, really excited about this reverse webinar, and I appreciate you so much.
Same, Ted. I'm excited. We'll see you then.
All right. We'll see you then. Bye, guys. Don't forget to register. Links below.